Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fabulous Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. Today we are going to be using the Bubble Over Stamp and Die set. I think the soda can is super adorable, and I love that there's a coordinating die set that will cut out a slit in the soda can so you can put a straw. And so I thought we'd create a card, and my favorite soda is an orange crush, and so I don't drink soda very often, but when I do, it's either cream soda or it is a vanilla cream soda, or it's an orange crush. And I think the sentiment in here that says "you crushed it" is perfect for my project today. So let's jump in and do some stamping. I'm going to stamp on a piece of cardstock. I'm going to be using two pieces of cardstock. We have a Glacier, which is a pale blue, and then we have a, this is called Barely Peach. Both of these are Spellbinders Color Essential cardstocks. And so I thought we would create like a soft tone background for our project today. Now I'm going to stamp with, usually I use Memento ink. I want to do just a little bit of shading. We're stamping on colored cardstock, but I want it to be a little bit more orange. And usually I use black ink, but I think black ink will be just a little bit too bold for my card today. And so I thought we would stamp with London Fog. It's a Memento ink. So we're going to bring in our stamping positioner. And okay, we're going to add our soda can to our Barely Peach cardstock. And I'm going to ink it up with my London Fog ink. I'm going to kind of season my stamp a little bit. And then I think the gray is going to go really good with this. Maybe a little more on the top. Wonderful. So there is my soda can. And then, while we have our panel inside our stamping positioner, we're going to take the sentiment that says "you crushed it," and we're going to stamp this as well. And I'm going to put it kind of at a little angle. Okay, for my sentiment, this says "you crushed it." We're going to use Tangelo ink. And we'll stamp this. I'm going to stamp it one more time. I like the way this looks, but I messed up on my Y. So we're going to do a redo here. Second time's a charm. I think that stamped wonderfully. Okay, while we have our stamping positioner out, we are going to go ahead and take some white cardstock and stamp our straw. And I'm going to use that same gray ink, my London Fog, for my straw. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit of shading, and I'm going to use my Copic marker. Since we already have the basic color that I want, I'm going to just add a little bit of shading with my YR82. I think it's a subtle orangey, melony color. And I'm just going to do a little flicking motion. Maybe this will give it a little bit of dimension. And I think that is perfect. And of course you could do the same thing if you wanted a darker color orange, but I'm going for a lighter look. Now for the top of my can, of course it's silver. So I'm going to bring in my gray markers. This is C4. I'm going to go on the inside of my can first. And then we can add a little shading. Well, you know what's nice is Spellbinder on this stamp. there's lines that actually indicate shading. So you have no problem figuring out where to shade, which makes it really nice. I'm going to take my C2 and add some color to this. I think that looks really good. I think just following along where they have the detail lines. In fact, I'm going to take in a darker orange. Maybe a YR14. And then just going over the areas that have those lines. Now for the straw, it's going to be very basic. I'm going to use my C4 because you probably won't even see this. And I'll go around the top here. And then I'll use my C2. Actually, that's my blender. We'll use C2, go around the top. We're going to just keep this gray. And then I'll use my blender pen and just blend all this out. I want to have a white straw, but keep it a little bit shading wise. So there are my images. Let's take the coordinating dies and die cut them out. There's 2 straws. And I think one is if you want to just die, I'll show you. If you want to die cut out the stamped image, you can, but if you just want a white straw, you can die cut that out too. Let's tape these down, run these through the die cut machine. Okay, our die cutting is done. You can see here this one, it cuts out the straw. Kind of cool actually the way that is, but I'm not going to use this piece. I'm just going to use my colored in straw, and then we have our soda can. So we'll put these over to the side, and then when you die cut this out, Spellbinders makes it so where there's a slit in here where you can add your straw. Just pop that in there, and how cool is that? Super fun. Okay, we're going to put this off to the side and work on our background. I'm bringing in again that pale blue, which is called Glacier. Here's my card base, and I'm going to trim down my Glacier cardstock. This is an A2 panel. Ooh, I guess we get to zoom back out. I always forget to zoom back out. But I'm going to take 3/4 inches off, so this is going to give me a panel that's 3.5 inches by 4 3/4. And then I'm going to use an embossing folder. And this is the Big Dot Slimline embossing folder. Lots of polka dots in here. And I'm going to line this up. And we'll run this through the die cutting machine and have a polka dotted background. There is our polka dotted background. I'm going to bring in some foam adhesive. This is pop-up foam sheets, and I'm just going to trim this down here. And we can put this behind our polka dot panel. I might need to use my glue. Let's use some glue. And then I'm going to adhere this to the center of my card base. After we have our polka dot panel adhered and a little bit of dimension, we're going to use another die set today. I'm going to be using the Create a Decorative tag die set, and we're going to die cut out vellum with the base, the tag base, and also the fringe. I want to go again soft and subtle, so let me grab a piece of vellum. And I'm going to trim out a piece here. Okay, we have our vellum. We're going to die cut this out, and then this is a decorative piece. For this, I went ahead and taped down my decorative strip to some white cardstock, and then for again the fringe and the tag, we're going to die cut out with our vellum sheets. So let's run this through our die cutting machine. Okay, my vellum is cut out. I already put some blue cardstock behind my decorative piece here. And now we are going to, I don't know if I want to use that or not. We'll see. I'm going to add some adhesive to the very bottom of my tag, and then we're going to add our fringe. I think I'm going to use some pattern paper instead of our decorative element. Okay, I trimmed down a piece of summery pattern paper. It's about a 3/4 inch strip. I think this is going to work out, coordinate a little bit better. So I'm going to adhere this pattern paper to the very bottom of my tag, and then we'll flip it around, and I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess. And then while I was looking for pattern paper, you can see I found a zigzag. I think we're going to add a little extra color in our background. So I'm going to, I like the blue. I'm going to trim it. I'm going to trim down some zigzag pattern paper here. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to add some pattern paper to my polka dots. I think stripes and polka dots go great together. I just want to make sure it's centered. And then we'll trim off what's overhanging. Okay, I put some extra foam strips on the sides because that way we have it all. I'm kind of winging it as I go. Okay, after we have this done, I do want to add an eyelet to the top of my tag here. Since it's vellum, it's going to be really light, but I think we're going to add a gray eyelet. And so we'll just use our crocodile and secure that. Okay, and then we're gonna add some white twine. Okay, I already put some pop-up foam adhesive behind my tag, and you know, I think I'm gonna stamp and color in one more of my soda cans, but this time I want to make it strawberry. I think we need a little bit more color other than the orange, so I'm gonna do that and then I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and colored in another soda can. I'm not gonna worry about coloring in. I added white detail to my crust here, you can see, but I'm not going to worry about coloring in this because we're going to basically overlap these two together. I just wanted an extra amount of color. So let's add our straw here. So we're going to be basically overlapping. Maybe. Let's go ahead and bring in a pink and color in. Actually, we'll use our white gel pen. And I'm going to color in the crust with my white gel pen so it kind of stands out. It's very easy to trace. So we are going to flip this over. I'm going to add adhesive behind it. I already have my straw on there, and then I'm going to place it on my panel. I'm going to line up my fringe so it's overhanging the bottom just a little bit, and then this one is going to go here. Then I'll add a little adhesive behind my orange crush. And I think that is going to work great. I'm going to flip this around and we're going to adhere this directly to our card base. So a little bit's overhanging, and then I got white gel pen on my desk. Okay, once we have our, I think that looks nice and summery. Now we're going to need a little bit of shine or shimmer, and for this I'm going to be bringing in my pink Opalescence Sequins. These are new over at Spellbinders shop, and they're pretty neat. They come in a little Ziploc bag, you can see here, and there's tons in here. They actually have quite a few different colors. I'm using pink Opalescent, but they have teal, aura, purple, and peach. So a nice little variety of sparkle. And these are all different sizes too. I think there's 3 different sizes. And I think the pink is going to go really good with our card. So we're going to add a little bit of glue to the places we want our sparkle. Nice little Ziploc bag too. It closes up really nice. And again, this is a pink we watched Willy Wonka, so I want to say Opalescent sequins. So, but that is my project today. Actually, you know, let's go in with our. Okay, I'm going to use my Journey Glaze and go over the straw. And I think I want to add a little sparkle to the straw. And for that, I'm going to use my sparkle cuts. I'm going to use some scratch paper. I should have did this before I adhered it, but that's okay. I think we need sparkle in the straw. That's what that needed. Sparkle cuts are really pretty iridescent sparkle. And then now we'll finish off my card today for Try It Out Tuesday. Sparkles. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next Tuesday for another card making project. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.